And we're live. All right. Welcome. This is I'm So Beastly Trivia. I am your host, Mr. Richard. And this is episode 12. We are doing our theme on pirates. Some of the pirates may be real. Some of them may be fictional. Honestly, we won't know until we ask the questions. So let's see what happens and let's have a good time. Let's have a fabulous, fabulous time. All right. If you have never played I'm So Beastly Trivia, first off, I started going live on TikTok and YouTube and then posting it after the fact on Spotify, I think in an episode 9, perhaps, maybe 10. Couldn't really tell you. So if you are listening on Spotify or in any way on the in a podcast app, right, then you will hear me comment on the other lives, on TikTok Live, YouTube Live, what have you. So that's what's happening. Now, if you are playing on YouTube Live for the first time or on Spotify or wherever for the first time, here's a little bit of how we do things. I don't know how many questions I ask. I spin a wheel at the beginning. It has either 8, 13, or 21 questions on it. Those numbers are on the Fibonacci sequence. 5 is not enough questions. 34 is way too many. So that's why we settled on 8, 13, and 21. And then, of course, the game of consequences. For every question, we spin another wheel that tells us the amount of points you can either gain or lose per question. And that also goes along with the Fibonacci sequence from 1 point to 233. Those point values have absolutely nothing to do with the difficulty of the question. So without further ado, here we go. Let's see how many questions we're going to have tonight. Okay. Ooh. Okay. Middle of the road, not too bad. 13 questions. All right. Let's see. Oh, howdy do, partners. Howdy do. All right. First question will be worth. Let's see. Yes. First question will be worth. Oh, wouldn't you know, 233 points right out the gate. Excellent question. And this is such a fun topic because I just went over this in my class, and some of these questions are directly related to what some of my students did. So hopefully they're paying attention and listening because this question is directly for them. Okay. Question 1 for 233 points. Who is the only pirate in history who has actually been recorded as having buried treasure, helping create the famous trope? Okay. Who is the only pirate in history who is actually recorded as having buried treasure, helping create the famous trope? All right. So like. Yes, that was for TikTok. So if you do not know, pirates, of course, they are asked to, bury treasure. And, it's become a thing in movies. It's become a thing in lore, in history. We talk about buried treasure all the time. It's become a thing to search for buried treasure, all that jazz. But it historically is inaccurate, and really only one pirate in history actually buried his treasure. Hopefully he marked it with an X, which is also, funny enough, going to come up later, potentially. Oh, okay. What's up? I see we got one student on the YouTube live. I'm not going to mention names because, rules and whatnot. But howdy do. See you tomorrow. Anyway, getting back to the topic at hand. Okay, so the actual pirate, the only one who's ever been recorded in history for actually burying treasure, is Captain William Kidd. Captain William Kidd. All right, this became an entire theme throughout history, and it really only happened one time. But obviously, it's super dope to think about buried treasure, think about hunting treasure. But you're far more likely to find treasure in a sunken pirate ship or in a vault somewhere. Typically, you're just not going to find it buried. But then again, it's also buried, so you're probably not going to find it anyway. But yeah, so if you got it right, give yourself 233 points. And if you did not get it right, too bad, so sad. Take away 233. You are in a deep hole. Hopefully you brought a big shovel. All right, question 2 is going to be worth... Ooh, I should have shuffled those baddies up. Question 2 is going to be worth a mere 8 points. All right, question 2 is worth 8 points. All right. So question 2. Which pirate was known as the gentleman pirate because he was a wealthy landowner before turning to crime? All right. Which pirate was known as the gentleman pirate because he was a wealthy landowner before turning to crime? Oh, we got a decent amount on the TikTok live. What's up? What's happening? Comment, all that jazz, have a good time. Oh man, we're beasting out on the beasting out on the YouTube live. What's good? What's good? Hardcore, what's up? Oh man, we're popping off right now. All right. So if you didn't know about pirates back in the day, right? Buccaneers, privateers, and corsairs, whereas buccaneers were more like the criminals, corsairs were kind of hybrids, and privateers were actually pirates that were commissioned by royalty to essentially take over other ships. That hot take is incorrect, by the way. Incredibly wrong. But yes, so that is a fun fact about that. So this man became a pirate, but related, not related. I guess it's all related if it's about pirates, whatever. So question 2 for 8 points. Which pirate was known as the gentleman pirate because he was a wealthy landowner before turning to crime? It would have been so sweet to be a pirate back in the day. I think I would have been a fantastic captain and probably the most historically well-known ever because I'm that hardcore. But that gentleman pirate is Stede Bonnet or Bonnet. I don't know how to pronounce it. It's an old name, probably French. But it is what it is. So 8 points, plus or minus. You know the drill. Game of consequences. Oh my. Oh my. All right, question 3. Question 3 is going to be worth... Whoa. Oh, man. We almost had it. We almost had a big one. It's worth 1 point. Question 3 is simply worth 1 point. All right. This is an interesting question 3 for 1 point. Why did pirates often wear heavy gold or silver earrings? Why did pirates often wear heavy gold or silver earrings? This is a very cool... this is actually a very interesting fact I just found out. And it makes a lot of sense, but it also kind of goes back to show you that there's honor amongst thieves. And I find it... I don't know. I just find it interesting, but I'm doing trivia. I find all these things interesting. So question 3 for 1 point. Why did pirates often wear heavy gold or silver earrings? The answer is they use them as funeral insurance. So basically, if they were found dead and they washed up on shore, people could use their earrings to pay for their funeral and bury their body, wash it, clean it up. make it pretty much make it good to go. So that's why they wore those earrings, because I guess it's the hardest thing to fall out. I'm not real sure. I guess that's why they wore earrings instead of maybe a bracelet or a necklace or something. I guess these other ones fall off easier. All right, question 4 is worth 55 points. 55 points. This is a good one. Very fascinating. Most people probably would not realize this, but this fact will come after the answer. I am proud indeed. I am absolutely proud. All right, so question 4 for, I don't know, 34 points, I think I said. 55 points for 55 points. Question 4 is 55 points, I believe. Yes. Okay. Who is the most successful pirate in history, commanding the Red Flag fleet of 300 ships? Now, let me tell you, 300 ships, right? There's also reports of up to and over 1,500 ships. The reports go somewhere between 40,000 and 70,000 crew members. Absolutely fascinating. Indeed, I would say from the comments on TikTok, can't say your name, but it is in fact, and I'll say it now, a female. Right? People don't realize this. Oddly enough, it was a female. This female was one of the most successful pirates in history, arguably the most successful pirate in history, because she had the largest fleet ever. And one of my groups actually did a project on her. So fascinating indeed. Interesting indeed. All right. I'll give you a hint. She is Chinese. All right. So we have, let's see. Oh, there we go. All right. So question 4 for 55 points. Who is the most successful pirate in history, commanding the Red Flag fleet of over 300 ships? She was also known as the Queen of the Sea, one of the Queen of the Seas. That would be Jing Yi Sao. All right, she's very, very fascinating. Because of her large crew, she was actually able to get herself and her entire crew pardoned from the government. I mean, there's just really nothing you could do with that many people coming at you. It would have been an all-out war, so they pretty much did it to just completely save themselves. It's very fascinating indeed. All right, question 5. Oh, you got to be joking me. Question 5 is only worth 1 point. 1 point. All right. And if you're just joining us, once again, you need to add points if you get it correct, take points away if you get it incorrect. All right, but 1 point. Okay. Question 5. What does a solid red pirate flag signify as opposed to a black one? All right. What does a solid red pirate flag signify as opposed to a black one? All right. Think about this. A red flag. Red signifies blood, especially in this pirate days. All right. Whoa, howdy do. We are popping off on TikTok Live. Everybody's loving trivia right now. Excellent. All right. War is close. And yes, I am commenting to TikTok Live if you are listening elsewhere. All right. War is close. Okay. All right. So question 5, what does a solid red pirate flag signify as opposed to a black one? Oh, we got it. It means no mercy. We will not take prisoners. We're just going to kill you. Right? That's also fascinating because, I mean, you would think that most pirate ships would be wielding the red flag, which is absolutely fascinating that they didn't. But fun fact about the flags, the skull and crossbones are actually representing the skull and femur bones crossed as to how they used to basically bury people back in the day. They would take their skull, they would take their femur bones, they'd cross them, they'd put them in a box, they'd bury them, or they'd put them in some other type of tomb. And so that transitioned, and then that's how you have the stereotypical pirate flag with the skull and crossbones. You know. Question 6. Oh yeah. 55 points. Let's rock it. 55 points. Let's rock it. All right. Okay. Question 6 for 55 points. Which Irish pirate queen famously met with Queen Elizabeth I to negotiate the release of her sons? All right. Which Irish pirate queen famously met with Queen Elizabeth I to negotiate the release of her sons? I also had a group that did this for our project. This person. It is obviously she's pirate queen, so this female was very fascinating indeed. It's all fascinating. Pirate history is incredibly fascinating. Right, it's very fascinating, especially for a female to rise to power, at this time. It's something that you didn't really see, and honestly, as a pirate, they still look down on them, but that was pretty much the only way that they could gain power at the time. And we do have a correct answer in the TikTok live chat. So kudos to you. Thank you for paying attention in class. All right. So question 6, which Irish pirate captain for 55 points famously met with Queen Elizabeth I to negotiate the release of her sons? That would be Grace O'Malley. Grace O'Malley, also known as Queen of the Seas. So we had a couple Queen of the Seas there, right? So these are the real pirate captains. Now we have one that is based on fact. I would say probably I would say it's closer to fiction, but also who am I to judge? I don't know what's happened throughout. So this next question could go either way. All right, question 7 for 8 points. 8 points. What is the name of the main character in One Piece who wants to be the king of the pirates? What is the name of the main character in One Piece who wants to be king of the pirates? Oh, seems like we have a ton of One Piece fans in the audience today. I mean, honestly, how could you not be? It is a fabulous show. I haven't read the manga. I've seen a couple episodes of the anime. One of my homies is super locked into it, and he is actually well caught up. I only know a couple things. My favorite sushi place in town, well, in my hometown, had a ton of One Piece wanted posters, bounty hunter posters on their walls. So it's popping off. It's pretty dope. It's question 7 for 8 points. What is the name of the main character in One Piece who wants to be king of the pirates? Monkey D. Luffy, or Luffy for short. Luffy for short. Everybody loves Luffy. Everybody loves Luffy. He's like stretching his arms and doing his thing, which actually brings us to my next question. Question 8 for, let's see how many points here. Oh, wow. What a lame 1 point. Question 8 is worth 1 point. All right. For 1 point, staying with One Piece, okay, what did Luffy eat to basically become a rubber boy? Okay. In One Piece, what did Luffy eat to basically become made of rubber? I saw the answer flash in the TikTok live chat. I'll take it. There's a couple names I'll take. I've seen both of the names I'll take. This is one I found in my studies and my research. I have not seen this. I did not know this for a fact. But man, it would be so cool to be rubbery, right? There's this toy back in like the 80s or 90s, Stretch Armstrong, super dope. You just stretch him and then, then he'd just go back to the size and never be actually stretched out. It was kind of cool. It was actually really cool. Stretch Armstrong. And then, of course, you have Elastigirl from The Incredibles, also super dope film. The Incredibles, fabulous film. But anyway, Monkey D. Luffy, Rubber Boy, the Rubber Band Man. So what did Luffy eat to become basically a Rubber Band Man? All right, Luffy ate either a devil fruit or the gum fruit. Either one of those. Okay, that would be for 1 point. So if you got it right, give yourself 1 point. If you got it wrong, take away 1 point. All right, but either way, 1 point. What of it? Question 9. Oh, son of a biscuit. Question 9, also for 1 point. We are going to definitely shuffle these baddies up again. Okay, for 1 point. 1 point. Question 9, what was the real name of the pirate known as Blackbeard? All right. What was the real name of the pirate known as Blackbeard? Now, Blackbeard is interesting. I was going to ask this as a question, but instead I think I'm just going to... Whoa, that was wild. Question 9 for 1 point. What was the real name of the pirate known as Blackbeard? That would be Edward Teach. Edward Teach, also in some areas known as Edward Thatch. Why? I don't know the difference in pronunciation, but Edward Teach. So that is for 1 point. Now, question 10, we are going back towards... You know what? We'll stay on this. We'll actually stay on it. We'll stay on it for 55 points. Question 10 is 55 points. Absolutely epic. Absolutely epic. I have no idea how many total points there are. Hopefully you're keeping track. I'm not. I was supposed to, but then I didn't have a proper pen and notepad. Just kidding. It's right next to me. However, that's not for trivia. I'm not going to waste paper. That's for something totally different. Okay. But question 10 is for 55 points, and we're staying on the Blackbeard line. Okay, where are we? Yes. What was the name of Blackbeard's flagship? Question 10. What was the name of Blackbeard's flagship? Okay, if you are unfamiliar of what that means, the flagship is the main ship. So basically, what was he on as he was fleeting around, as he was sailing the 7 seas, as they say? Oh. All right, this also has a female name. All right, for 55 points, question 10. Where are we? What was the name of Blackbeard's flagship? That would be Queen Anne's Revenge. Queen Anne's Revenge. I wonder what he did to Queen Anne to make her even want revenge. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Of course, I should have shuffled this up again. Oh, wait a second. 1 point. All right, question 11 is worth 1 point. Okay. Ooh. This is a good one. I am the GOAT. Thank you. This is a super good one. Okay. Question 11 for 1 point. All right. Which Welsh pirate, that means he's from Wales, the country of Wales, which Welsh pirate captured over 400 ships, the most of any pirate during the Golden Age? Okay. Which Welsh pirate captured over 400 ships, the most of any pirate during the Golden Age? And there are a couple answers I will accept. Friday. It's interesting. His reign was short, right? His reign was only a couple years. I mean, he basically had to capture a ship on average, I think, like one every 3 days. Like, that's crazy to capture one ship every 3 days, something like that. I mean, it was. All right. Okay. So, question 11 for 1 point. Which Welsh pirate captured over 400 ships, the most of any pirate during the Golden Age? That would be Bartholomew Roberts, otherwise known as Black Bart. All right. Bartholomew Roberts, otherwise known as Black Bart. One of the most feared pirate captains of all time. Heck of a guy. Stud. All right. Question 12. Let's see. Hopefully we get a heavy hitter. We might. We do. Medium, small, heavy hitter, low, heavy hitter. All right. 55 points. Question 12 is worth 55 points. Okay. This is a really cool one. All right. Question 12. Why did pirates wear eye patches even if they had both eyes? Okay. Why did pirates wear eye patches even if they had both eyes? I mean, yeah, it was tough. They look cool. Honestly, I would love to be walking around in an eye patch all the time. I think it would really add to my aura. I think it would up my fashion game heavily. Right? Night bison is Night bison. All right, yes. So, all right, why did pirates wear eye patches even if they had both eyes? Okay, this was to train them so they could easily go from the light of above deck to below deck without there being any shock to their system, in case they had to take someone out in a fight, in a battle. Basically it, or obviously if something happened at night, they'd be able to see better at night. So basically, yes, it essentially gave them night vision, which is definitely hardcore. Having night vision, can't you imagine? Like, wouldn't that be so sweet? All right. Now, we got is True Nonsense is back. Welcome back. Second timer. 89 points for question 13. Last question for 89 points. All right. It's not a banger like question 1 at 233, but it is still pretty solid. Pretty solid at 89. 89 is not bad, right? 89 is not bad. Okay. This is a cool one. All right. And this one I will connect to Pirates of the Caribbean. I will also connect it to SpongeBob SquarePants, because this is mentioned in both of them. Not a main character, but a big time character in Pirates of the Caribbean. And it is mentioned by the Flying Dutchman in SpongeBob. All right. So basically, what is Davy Jones's locker? All right. What is Davy Jones' locker? What does it mean? Okay. It's in Pirates of the Caribbean. It's in SpongeBob SquarePants. All right. What is Davy Jones' locker? I'm seeing. Oh yeah. I love all these correct answers coming through on my TikTok chat. I love it. Absolutely love it. All right. So, yes, Davy Jones' locker. Davy Jones is a character in Pirates of the Caribbean. Essentially, he runs beneath the sea. And also the Flying Dutchman, I believe, like literally had a locker with Davy Jones' name on the locker on his ship, obviously making fun of the actual lore. But yes, Davy Jones' locker is basically the bottom of the sea. Essentially, your soul is sent down there to remain forever. So basically, it is the dark side of it is basically the resting place for drowned sailors, drowned pirates, all that jazz. But if you just said the bottom of the sea, by all means, give yourself 89 points. If you didn't, if it was nowhere near that, take away 89 points. And, that's that. But yeah, that's been our game on Pirates. I have absolutely no idea how many points we totaled up today. But if you have a clue, you can put it in the chat. If not, 589. Oh, dope. Okay, it added up to 589. Maybe it probably added up to more. I don't know. Anyway, all right. Anyway, I have no clue what it added up to, but I do know we asked 13 questions about pirates, and I do know we had a great time. So next time, episode 13 will be where all answers start with the letter D. All right. And of course, you can find the link to buy my books in the description. Both of them will be down there. Also, I got a pretty dope I don't know what I was going to say. If you want to buy me coffee, by all means, you can in the link below. If not, maybe we can catch up for some coffee at some other point. Also, my email address is in the description if you want to send me a message with thoughts on episode ideas or comments, concerns, anything of that nature. But otherwise, we'll see you back. We'll see you back for episode 13 of I'm So Beastly Trivia. I'm your host, Mr. Richard. Ta-ta, kittens.